Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Yetunde. I run an online fashion school and ready to wear my brand in Lagos, Nigeria. If you need any inquiries, you can go to the number of your screen. Thank you for subscription. If you've not subscribed, please join the Yeti Army as we drop at least 2 videos every week. So today we want to be talking about something else. Put on a notification bell if you want to know when we drop a new video, and to give us the thumbs up for anything we're doing right. Drop your comment, drop your likes. Thank you for always come back to watch the video, and I hope you've been learning 1 or 2 things. If there's anything you need us to adjust on, please let us. Feel free to drop it in the comment section. Okay, so today we want to talk about something else. We'll be having, I think I'm big on necklines. I don't know, because there are a lot of necklines. I'm big on necklines and the sleeves, because there are a lot of sleeves that we can do, and a lot of fanciful necklines that we can do with our bodies. So today I'm going to talk about what we call the high collar neckline. It's like a collared neckline, but as you've seen in the thumbnail, it is constructed with the basic bodice together with it. It's called a high collar neckline. Yes, high collar neckline. So that's what we will be doing today. So for today, the neckline will touch on the front and the back body. So I have my front bodies and I have my back body. So let's get to work. So the first thing you need to do when you're drafting this kind of neckline is that you need to place your pattern bodies on another paper. Now the first rule I will talk about is that please make sure you have your pattern with the basic bodies. That is, the neckline is very small. It's just the basic neckline, nothing wide. It has to be close to the neck. Anything that has to do with collars, it will be close to the neck. The back bodies too, just the normal high neck, and the back body is just the normal high neck, and the front body is just the normal high neck. Okay, so I want to be sure we can see everything. So we will now get to work. So the first thing is that basic bodies. The next is that leave a space up on the new paper that you are drafting. I won't be cutting everything. I'll just cut it along the line. So you're going to leave a space. So I'm just going to be taking it from my neckline. So from my neckline, I have like a 2.5 inches left up here, because we need the collar to be drafted with the bodies. So on the second one too, I'm going to also do a 2.5 inch at both sides. So that means I'm going to be leaving 2.5 inch up before my draft. Okay, so 2.5 inch before my draft. That's the first thing. Okay, so the next thing is that I'll just trace my drafts on it. Now for my draft, I will not be tracing out anything since I'm just dealing with the neckline. So I got a marker to do our videos, because I think that the biro doesn't show it well, and sometimes I have to darken the video so that I can see the lines. But I hope this solves our problem. Nobody commented about not seeing the lines, but I noticed not all lines were really visible. Okay, so I think the marker should do justice. So this is just what I will be drafting. So I've just traced out my neckline, and I can take out my bodies. So what that means is that I really don't need much of all the body parts, because since I'm just dealing with the neckline, so that we can concentrate on what we are just doing. Okay, so I cut that out, and I take my bodies. Okay, so definitely that this will be the front bodies, the CF, center front, and the side fronts. This is also the center back, which will have the zip. Okay, so once again, I've just traced out my front and back bodies. Yeah, so anyhow you can make them face each other, that's fine. You can but this is how we draft, so that's also how I am tracing out. Okay, so once I'm done with this, I can now face the major business of the day. Let me push my draft aside. Okay, so we have this. So the first thing you need to do is, how high do you want your neckline to be? So for me, I'll be doing something around 1.25. So if you want to do 1.25, the first thing you will do is that that you have to increase. Let's start from the back. From the back bodice, you have to increase your back draft by 1 point. Like from this place now, I'm going to be increasing by just 1.25. so you can do 1 inch, you can do 1.25. so from the eye neck, that's the beginning of the shoulder line, I increased it by 1.25. okay, so what I'm just going to do is that I will just take out what is remaining from here, which is another 1.25. so I'm going to just draw my straight line, 1.25. I need a ruler. Okay, so 1.25 on a straight line. So that's the first thing. The next thing is that you're going to take your curve so that you can curve this neckline. Now you need to know that because this is 1.25, this middle cannot be 1.25. you need to, reduce it in the middle for the middle to be a little lower than 1.25. please note that 1.25 is not a static thing. You can do your own to be lesser, but don't. I think most times maybe 1.5 at the most. That's what you can do. So I'm just going to, at this middle, now for this middle now it's a 2 inch, so I'm going to reduce at the center back. I'm going to reduce it by ½ inch. Okay, so I'm going to reduce it by ½ inch in the middle. The middle and the sides cannot be the same. Okay, so from here I did 1.25, but in the middle it will be longer because we've already drafted the neckline, so that's it. So but I took out ½ inch from that place to reduce that. So we have the straight line. I don't want to block this so that what we're doing you can see it. The next thing I will need to do is that I will need to curve this my neckline into that space. Now you can make your neckline a little bit after it, just like maybe 0.25 after the your neck point. So maybe something from here, that's 0.25 if you want to take the glide, but whatever you do at the back here you do in front. So I'm going to just, from 0.25 after the neckline, I'm just going to take the glide and I'm just going to curve it up to meet my now note that this one was on a straight line with the neckline. Okay, it's a little above it, but I'm just going to that end. Okay, so it's the straight line. I didn't want to box it up completely with this pen, so I will not be confused. So if I want to box it up, we'll just draw a straight line up like this, so that you have your box. You can see the line with the biro. You have your box, so that will help you when you're doing the next one. So from 0.25 after the shoulder line, I'm just going to bend that up just slightly like that. So take this and then we just bend it up. If you want, you can push it in a little, just something a little after the line. Okay, so this is perfect. And you also curve this back, so slight curve, nothing much. So the ½ inch will reduce, then center you curve it. So this for the back neck is okay. So for the front neckline, so the first thing, how many inches did we go up on the back neckline? We did 1.25. so I'm just going to firstly take our 1.25 spacing. Now for this front neck is a little bit tricky. You have to just go 1.25 from that center, like maybe to the side, 1.25 to the middle. You will see why we need that. So I'm just dotting 1.25 up, 1.25 in the angle, 1.25 in the center. So 1.25 on a straight line, 1.25 in a diagonal line facing up, 1.25 facing up. Yes. So the next thing I will also be doing is this front. I'll use it to draft maybe 3 necklines, so that, excuse me, if you want to practice you can pick any one from it. is definitely I move 0.25 away from my neck point. If your neck point is not so close, don't move away 0.25, but my neck point is like really close. You can see this is just 2.25, so I can afford to move 0.25 away. Okay, so once that is done, for this back, we're not going to take it straight. We're also not going to take it straight like this. We're going to bring it to the middle. Okay, so now this is two. Once you have this 1.25 up, just go like half inch after that space. So this is half inch after that space, so go like half inch after that slant space, dot it, go 1 inch after that space, dot it. So the first thing we will now do is so I take my curve, don't forget what I did, straight line, half inch, 1 inch, and this straight line. Okay, so the first one will be to first glide my 0.25. Now this one will not be facing up straight, just like how that one did not face up straight. We're going to just curve it to 0.5 inch to our half inch. So from my 0.25 to my half inch line. Okay, so that's the first thing for the front. The second thing is that we will now determine the neckline. The first neckline I will be doing is the high neck of it. So why we dotted this 1.25 is that wherever this one got to, it has to also pass that space in this middle of the body to now determine any neckline you want. So the first neckline I will be doing is obviously the ones in the thumbnail. It's just this really nice slanting neckline, a little low, and then it curves into that neckline. You can see how my French curve is linking the neckline. Sure, this is in the center of the video so you can all see it. Okay, so one trick you can use to know how deep you want it to be is first measure your neckline. So my neckline is a 3, so it depends on how low I want it to be in the middle. So let's say I want like 2 inches more, or maybe 2.5 to give us the 5.5. So that's where I am going to panel my neckline to. So that's the first thing, a 5.5. So that's where it is ending, and I just use my French curve to just link up directly. So you can see that. Let me use my biro this time around. The marker is quite large, so I just do that and make sure it meets this place, it meets this place, my 1.25 out, my 1.25 of the 0.5 out. Also this one is also just they are helping me, they are helping my direction. So and then I go to how low I want it. Okay, so like that, and I just draw it. Okay, so and we just draw it. Okay, so this gives us the first neckline. The next one I want to talk about is let me see. Now this can also you can have it a little wider than this, in the sense that you will just from there just come back out like this, and it will be a little wide. So anyhow you want the neckline. The next one I want to do is if you want to use it to do like a sweetheart neckline, I think that one was part of the one I uploaded in the thumbnail, which I will also be doing. Okay, so for the sweetheart neckline, you're going to be having 3 lines. So you're going to have to do 1, 2, and 3. So for this one, I will just go in for your first line. Just go in for your first line, do a 1, do a 1, do. So your second one will be quite small, and then let it be really curvy. So I'm bringing it to this end. So I do a 1. This one I'm not using any number, you just use your discretion. So it has come in. So it now depends on how deep you want this to be. You can stop somewhere, you can bring it in deep. So I'm just going to be taking it from inside here. The next one I'll make it really curvy, and I won't make it last one, I'm also going to just now, just okay, I think I should deepen this curve a little so that okay, so and then I can, the third one, do another bulgy curve to that part. Okay, so this one is just using your French curve. So if you notice, this is not connecting, so I have to connect it. Okay, so that's connected now. So I have my sweetheart neckline. Now if I was to be bringing this pattern to life, I will be using this neckline. Okay, so this one is the second neckline. The third neckline that I will be trying is just going to be like a sweetheart too, but it's going to be two lines, not three. So we're going to curve in, but that one cannot end where this is ending. So from the same space, and it has to come down more to somewhere around the middle armhole. So I go, like I said, somewhere around the middle armhole, somewhere around here. So I curve in. Note the difference of the necklines. I curve in, and I now curve up. Okay, so I curve in and I curve up. So dependent on how I now want to take this one, I'm just take the curve like this. Okay, so any of these necklines is fine for me. Now this is the simple one that I know and I like to do. There's another one which is a little bit complex, but this is my go-to style. So I'm going to start from the first one. Let's try and cut our neckline so that you see how it comes to life. Okay, don't forget that definitely when you're transferring on your fabric, you'll be putting your allowances. All these necklines will be ½ inch. The armhole too will be ½ inch, and okay, so I cut the front and the back. The back is just a simple cut, nothing dramatic. So I'm just cutting out so that we can see how the sewing will look like. So definitely, this is the center back, and this is the center front. So once you're sewing it now, you're going to, this one is like this. Where's the center back? So by the time the back will join this front, and it will stand like this. Definitely once you sew, your back will stand like this. So you have your eye neck. You have your eye neck all the way. So you're going to join this place together. Join this place together. The way we sew. So instead of stopping at once you join your neck, okay, let me just use a pin so that we see the outcome. Okay, I think I've talked about that. Put your allowances when you're cutting. I'm cutting on paper. You can cut this on fabric, so just place your paper on the fabric. So let's assume this is the fabric. Place your paper on it. Don't forget I added 2.5, so that will give you space for your sewing allowance. So instead of cutting all the upper part out, what I'm trying to say is that if you're using your, this is the fabric. That's why I don't forget I added 2.5, so that if you want to add allowances, you just add all your allowance. So if you are cutting on fabric, you know what you do. Your center back, you put your zipper allowance. Your center front will be on fold, and then you just put your allowances all the way. So it's going to, you can do that on your fabric. You can just cut a simple demo like this and transfer it, not the whole body, just the neckline area, and place on your fabric to cut. So you're going to just sew like this together, and then you're going to have, by the time you wear your dress, you have body, it stays firm. Okay, so if it's not this neckline you want, it with the other one. I'm going to try and maybe overlap it, so you know, just have your neckline like that, staying, you know, this paper to not lay well like a fabric. Yeah, so neckline to neckline. Please, you don't forget that if you are increasing by 1.25, increase both sides. Increase both sides by 0.25, or you can do 0.5 or nothing more. The 0.25 that's going to explain, the 0.25 that I increased, that I brought in, is just for ease of the curve, and if your neckline is close. So this is how the neckline will be on the body. You have your eye neck, so the collar is together. So this front now, if you want the other neckline, you just go, I like the sweethearts. And there's something I also do. I use my scissors to alter my neckline. You can see that I've altered it now, altering the neckline. So that's with my scissors now, if I'm not so satisfied with what I cut on the paper. This is the beauty of using a paper. So just gradually to the beginning. Okay, so we have our eye neck. So let me place it together, so by the time you make your dress from the front and the back, you can see it is going up to the eye neck. So this is how you can do a high collar neckline. There's another style which is a bit more technical to this, but this is just a simpler form you can use. Okay, so get cutting, get creative. If you learned something, drop a comment, give us your thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, invite someone, and so I think you get the neckline and you have your beautiful, by the time the second one goes and it comes forward, you have your beautiful neckline. Thank you for coming back and watching this video. Come back some other time for something else. For me, it's stay safe and bye.